Patriot is here. He has a fist in one hand and a shield in the other. He's going to be breaking barriers and breaking enemies. However, is he just another brawler, or is he actually the key to the Liberty team? Let's go ahead and look at his stats. Let's look at his abilities and see what we can glean about this character. One of the things that stands out immediately is in the new stat meta, he's not overly impressive, right? So we see his average power there is 15th overall in the game, which is cool. Top 11th in health. Damage is 20th. He is a brawler character, so we're assuming he is going to be going in and doing damage 20th. That's something. It's definitely not nothing, but it doesn't seem to be overwhelmingly oppressive. Armor 34, focus 38th, resist 50th overall. His speed stat is 120. That's the same as Omega Sentinel. So a lot of times we're going to be seeing him go second or third in the rotation for his team. He is once again a brawler. However, in testing, he seems more like a controller character. He does attack, but really it's his kit and what's going on under the hood that is helping to keep the enemy team under control. Let me show you what I mean. As the characters are loading into the matchup, keep an eye there on Patriot. We're going to see his passive ability proc. There it is, red, white, and blue. Let's take note of what his passive ability actually does. His passive ability is called red, white, and blue. On successful attack by this character or any other Liberty ally, flip one negative effect to positive effect on self and all Liberty allies. On enemy turn, apply one taunt up to a maximum of 3 to that enemy. This move is important. If your enemy takes a turn, they will apply a taunt to themselves. If they move, they make themselves a target, meaning you're able to continue the assault. Until this character completes a turn, this character and all Liberty allies gain 5,000% focus. It doesn't say when he takes a turn, it says when he completes a turn. So up to the end of Patriot's turn, Liberty allies gain 5,000% focus. This will ensure that all of their control effects, all the things they apply to the enemy side, all those taunts will indeed land. Enemies with taunt lower dodge chance by 100%. And the way the Liberty team works, they're putting taunt on your opponents. It lowers dodge chance by 100%, meaning they cannot dodge. They will not be able to evade in Alliance War. Take an additional 10% damage, that's tacked on as well. Now, I misspoke. It is only now that the war buffs apply. Everything else can be used outside of Alliance War, but in this case, the part that is War Central, the damage of this character and Liberty allies can only be reduced by offense down. There are enemies coming up like the Absolute A-Force that have natural damage reduction in their kit. They just simply reduce incoming damage. The Liberty team will avoid that from happening. If this character has 4 or more Liberty allies, lower max barrier of all enemies by 20%. Enemies with taunt cannot gain stealth. We recognize barrier is big. There's a lot of teams that give barrier in this game. Generally speaking, barrier is 30% of your character's max health. The Liberty team will lower that by 20%, meaning an individual should only have 10% max barrier. This is going to be interesting when we match back up with Null. I'm curious to see how it's going to work in Battle World. There are some other barrier callouts that we'll see later. So as we said, this is a great pace to kind of test some of these things out. The opponents have barrier. His passive ability reduces barrier. We see there's evades on the board. There's going to be some deflects on the board. So we'll see how the kit interacts with these things. We'll put everything back up to regular speed. And we'll slow it down when we can see Patriot's turn. So as you were able to see, we went right through to North Star there. We can attack him. We can bypass the pre-taunt from Sasquatch because there's taunts everywhere on the board. And even though there's evades, Patriot's passive ability helps us to go past those. Let's take a look here at his special ability, American Rush. His special ability is called American Rush. Attack all enemies for 250% piercing damage, 25% additional damage for each positive and each negative effect on this character. Apply defense down for 2 turns. So you're going to drop a defense down on your opponent, and in most cases, you have about 4 positive effects at all times on a Liberty team, so you're looking at an additional 100% damage. Heal self and all Liberty allies for 10% of this character's max health. Here's the thing, Patriot seems to be a little bit squishy. When it's his turn, he probably has already taken damage. This is the first move you're able to use. This will help you get a little bit more health and keep him in the fight. In war, 100% crit chance against enemies with taunt. You're probably punching into taunt when you're dealing with the Liberty team, so you have a critical strike right away. So that's what we can expect. Let's see how it works in real time. We remove some death proofs, and we see we definitely got critical hits across the board. Good thing about Falcon here, Captain America Sam Wilson, I should say, you could choose to taunt if you think you're going to take a big hit, or you could push the attack with the speed. We'll take the speed and push the attack. We're definitely in control here. War Machine, we're going to go through the evades. There's death proofs. This ability is meant to chew through those things just like that. And again, this matches our control. So this wasn't really to show a counter. We just wanted to show off the mechanics of the team. Let's take a look at a different matchup and see what happens there. So what we're looking at here is the Liberty team's ability to burn targets down, and we'll also take a look at the rest of Patriot's moves. So we know we got to get through that Odin over there. We're going to just start laying on the damage. That's supposed to reduce speed bar. It's not going to work on Odin. We're going to stun Kahori. So now she's controlled. We'll flip right back over to Odin. We need to do damage and get him out of here before he takes a turn. So we'll take the speed boost there. Nightcrawler's down. Keep pouring on the damage with War Machine. Dryad takes a hit. And now we have Patriot's special ability, American Rush. We've seen that before. So let's go ahead and just see if we can get the KO. He's out of there. Now we have this match in hand. The Absolute A-Force, remember, does damage reduction. The Liberty team counters that. We'll see more of that when we look at Patriot's kit. Hit everybody there. We'll try to focus on Kahori. We know we got to get her out of there, or we're going to have problems. Lots of energy flowing on the field. We will use the special because we're going to drill through those evades, and Kahori's gone. We know we don't have a lot of enemies left, but let's go ahead and take a look at Star Spangled Slam. His ultimate is called Star Spangled Slam. Clear barrier on all enemies. Interestingly enough, there are 3 Liberty team members that clear barrier on all enemies. So once again, I'm curious to see how the Liberty team will match up against Null. Apply offense up to self and all Liberty allies. Clear death proof on primary and adjacent targets. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 300% piercing. Apply 2 bleed. Since you're able to attack your primary and your adjacents, you're going to strip off those death proofs. This team's good at doing that. You ignore the evades, you're going to erase the death proofs. You're going to be able to eliminate your opponents more quickly. In war on kill, fill speed bar by 75% for self. So if using the ultimate ability, Patriot's able to get the KO, he's going to fill his speed bar by 75%, meaning he should be able to take another turn relatively quickly. You get assistance with this because this attack gains 100% crit chance against targets with taunt and cannot be blocked. So again, Liberty team is generally speaking attacking into taunt. You should get a critical strike. You should not be able to be blocked, meaning the boosts. I had to think of the word. The boosts should not stop you from doing the damage that you can. Let's go ahead and see it in action. Interesting move there. Turn the speed back up. If we would have gotten a KO, we could have got a speed boost. And you know how this one's going to go. We have the infinite energy, infinite health from Miss Marvel Classic. Right here, my doggy's walking around. And just for funsies, we're going to show you Patriotic Punch. It's going to do 350% damage and apply 2 bleed. And again, notice we're going straight through the evades. Well, not this time, huh? How come not this time? Oh, well, you get the point. So I'm curious to know what you think. Patriot is here. Again, we're talking about smashing enemies. He's really has that, they got that barrier mechanic. I am very curious to see how that ends up working in the real world. Are there some other applications that we're not thinking of at this time? Do you think Patriot is a must-have character? Are you going to spend on him, or are you going to wait for the free-to-play release? Characters like this aren't always, super explosive. They really got things going on under the hood that makes the team function. I think that's what's happening here with Patriot. Hey, if you haven't had a chance to look at this video here, please check it out. It's legit.